Hi everybody, Mike Reese here for Martial Arts Chat. This is actually going to be an earlier one than I've done before. Mainly because, one, I just got things I want to focus on here at the house. Two, I want to thank everybody who's doing like conversation pieces. They were just putting some conversation into the posts and stuff like that on the groups that I share it with and things of that nature. So I want to thank everybody for participating in that way. I will still continue to get as many as I can as far as comments and stuff like that are concerned. I also want people to understand, keep on going back to some of my old videos just to look at the comments. And the reason why I say that is because, some people have left comments recently on like my Casey review. He opened up like more things that I wasn't really aware of. I only got like bits and pieces from people I know that were there, but he really put it down as far as like what really Casey's about. So it's good to go back and look at some of that stuff because it does give a better perspective. And like I said, I don't know everything. I just know what I've talked to people about. I just know what I've looked at and and stuff like that. That's all I know. I don't like have all this knowledge in the world. Now, do I look things up? Yeah, I look things up. It doesn't matter to me. But you do what you do, and you find what you find. Good old coffee in the morning, boy, I tell you. But So I want to encourage people to go back and look at those and make sure that they know that there's other people giving some good comments out there too. And that way you can also see that I'm really not against people posting, okay? And how I talked to my friend Glenn last night on the phone, and we were talking about Ronda Rousey and stuff, and he gave another good, solid point about certain things. We both believe that, honestly, personality archetypes is kind of what's pushed her into this. We're both kind of sketchy on certain things about UFC now anyway. That's just us, though. We have kind of that weird mindset that we kind of see things differently. Now, some people probably agree with us, but, anyway, getting off that topic. My main topic today, my main one, is not just the thank yous, but also to let people know, just for the argument's sake, I'm never going to back up from what I say. I mean, if you prove to me that I'm completely and utterly wrong, like I said, I'll concede to it. But at the same time, I'm still convinced that how bad things are when it comes to martial arts. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to razz on martial arts a lot because there's bad things everywhere. And it's because of the same thing. There's just poor instructors doing bad things. So, and someone had told me that too. They said it wasn't just martial arts, it's like everywhere, But I'm going to ask this question, okay? Since Friday, I'm not going to be doing my movie review or anything like that. I'm not going to be doing a review because I'm going to be going to Arlington and talking to Kyle Stockton at American Ninjutsu, which that's part of Robert Bussey's group there in Arlington. I'm going to be talking with him. We're going to be doing a martial arts chat, and I'm going to be downloading that. I'll be uploading that with our conversation, and I don't know, maybe some training material. I don't know. I can always hope. We'll see. But I'll be bringing you that because I'm going to be asking him about them. And so start sending me questions now that maybe you guys want to know. Start asking, like, what do you want to know about Robert Bussey's American Ninjutsu stuff? What does he teach? Things like that. Just send me questions that you might want to know from Kyle and the American Ninjutsu group that I can ask him. And I'll write down some questions and let him know. Okay, and if you're not, tweet it to me at TFS Michael Reese. You can just tweet that to me and let me know the question that you have for them, okay? So today I'm going to give you a composite. I didn't really give a whole lot of thought to this, but but I was giving some. Let me change that. I gave it some thought because there are some things I want to do. It's my top 10 fight scenes, and I want to say that I gave these some thought. So they're due to change or flip flop from position, but my top 10 fight scenes in movies. I'm just going to give my top 10, no general order. I'm just going to say what comes to mind first and then all the way up. Top 10, let's see, 10. Number 10, I would say, and now people might fault me for this, but Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee and Bob Wall, where they're standing off and where he really shows his speed and the Wing Chun trapping and how he maneuvers it really, really well. I find that scene, and then shows off his power and things like that. It was a really good scene, and I think a lot of people go, "Whoa!" I don't know if I would see that as a fight scene as much, but it was a fight scene, and the fact that he really put the principles of Jeet Kune Do in my how I see it is adapt, overcome. And no matter what this guy did, he would do something that was really unorthodox, or like outside of what these guys would think for a tournament. Like he did a jump, he's doing a jump spinning back kick, and all he did was drop to the ground and kick him in the groin. I mean, and not exactly like, ooh, that wasn't exactly flashy, but hey, shot in the pills. That'd be a showstopper. I love that scene because of that. The fact that he's so fast, and then he just does things that I think I would have probably cracked up about if I was standing at a tournament and watching a guy do that, and he just cracks some guy right in the pills like that. The guy looking fancy and he gets dropped. I would have laughed. But that's me. So that's number 10. Number 9, I'm gonna have to throw. I know people go fight scene, but I'm gonna have to put this in here because it's really kind of a very cool scene, even though it's a satire type deal. But The Princess Bride with, I had their names. Anyways, Montego Montoya, and I can't remember who plays him. Oh my goodness, I have their names. But anyways, Carrie Ellis, who does Wesley, and they do their whole fencing scene. That is one of the best fencing scenes besides that of the Pirates of the Caribbean. And I think, honestly, it still hangs in there. I think if anything, people are learning from that on how to do looking at how they did that whole scene. And then you could see that scene, and then you could go to Pirates of the Caribbean and probably see that whole thing again and go, man, this reminds me of that show. The reason why you should choose them is because the fact that they were the ones that brought out this big fencing scene, and it was such a huge scene in that movie. I really thought it was done really well. It just captured these two guys that it was pretty awesome, and the fact that they're having this banter back and forth is pretty great. Like I said, I mean, now you can see that kind of stuff with Pirates of the Caribbean with, Jack Sparrow and all that stuff. But these guys didn't do anything, in my opinion, they didn't do anything ultimately crazy, balancing beams, stuff like that. They didn't do anything like that. But I have to still say it's one of my tops. So number 8, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in. Oh man, there's so many good fight scenes. Number 8. I know it sounds low, but Steven Seagal in Hard to Kill, in the scene where he walks into the liquor store. He's gonna go buy, or it's like a convenience store, I think. Maybe it was a liquor, I don't remember, but he was grabbing something for his wifey poo that he was gonna go and get a monkey for his kid or something like that. And he was going into the store, and these robbers go in, and he cleans these guys out, man. I love that. I love that scene. That scene is one of my tops. That's one of my top favorite scenes. And it's just because of how he moved and took the shotgun away from people. Did the whole jack the guy up from his knees thing. That was pretty cool. So, and then so we're moving on to number 7. Number 7. As far as fight scenes concerned, I would have to put the Perfect Weapon bar fight scene as my number 7. It's still one of my tops 10s, and that bar fight scene is incredible. It's showing Kempo in a bar fight, not in not in this big whole dojo setting, but like a bar fight scene. And I think even Ed Parker said that scene itself was what captured Kempo. It captured Kempo in a way that it should be done. That was Ed Parker's words. So I was like, and what it was used for, and I was like, awesome, because that's like one of my favorite scenes. It really is. Number 6. Fight scene. I don't know if this qualifies. I don't know if it qualifies, but for me, number 6 has to go to the little girl in Homefront, where she's bullied, and this big fat kid, takes off her hat, and she goes, "Give me my hat back." And he goes, "What are you gonna do about it?" And he pushes her down. She goes, "Give me my hat back." She stood up, and he goes, "There ain't nothing you can do about it." She goes, "I warned you." And then he went to push her again, and she cleans him, and she just drills him, and then breaks his nose with a flip kick, kind of not like a back flip, but just flipping up her leg, just blah, blah. Busts his kid's nose, hammered him in his gut to where he doubled over, then hammered him in his nose. Made me laugh. This little girl just hurt this guy because of being such a douchebag. Maybe that's not a fight scene to you guys, but to me, that made my day. When I was watching Homefront, that's like the part that sticks in my brain, kind of more than anything else. It's like that part is like makes me go, yeah. That to me is like the essence of your schoolyard scraps. Boom, boom. That's just me. That's how it should go anyway. You could tell Daddy was training her. So number 5. Number 5 is gonna have to go to, and you see again, guys. I'm not doing a lot of stuff like this. Number 5 is Kiss of the Dragon, where Jet Li goes in and cleans out that entire room of karate guys. In that police station where they all were training sticks, and he goes in there and just cleans house. That's got to definitely be in my top 5 because it is pretty awesome. I mean, it's just one of the most awesome fight scenes around. And like I said, no wires, no wire food, stuff like that. And it's like, so bear with me. It's not that I don't find those movies entertaining. I really enjoy seeing raw things that are a little more raw. That's just me. Which gets to my number 4. Bullet to the head, the axe fighting scene. You know what? Actually, not even the axe fighting scene. The bathroom scene between Jason Momoa and Sly Stallone, man, and Sylvester Stallone. Jason Momoa and Sylvester Stallone get into a nitty-gritty fight. It shows off, Jason Momoa has some physical skill. The man's a large man, and he can move really, really well. He'd be someone to not want to mess with, in my opinion, because that guy has some genuine skill. And those guys get in it, a rough and tough tumble battle in the bathroom, and just tearing things up because they're both large guys and they're just tearing it up. And I love watching Stallone not be the boxer or this or that or the other, and just beat the snot out of someone and just sit there and just, you know, that rough street style fighting that people don't give much credit for, which I'll talk about that later on. But not today, but maybe later today. I don't know. I might do 2 today. I don't know. But that was a very cool scene, and I don't know what it was about that scene that made me just go, wow, I like that. Like I said, I think it's just that nitty gritty style. Number 3, the whole rave scene in Blade. That fight scene in Blade, I think it's gonna have to. That scene and actually, so it's gonna have to have 2, and they're both from Blade. Blade 2, Blade 1, and Blade 2. Blade, the first scene in Blade where it's the whole Blade rave fight scene when he's going to that blood rave and he goes in there and just cleans house. The way Wesley Snipes can, the best way Wesley Snipes can. And then Blade 2, when, I mean, and even in Blade, you could even say Blade 1 has 2 really good scenes. The rave fight scene and the end fight scene. Not with him and Deacon Frost. I don't like that fight scene at all. I like the fight scene before he gets to Deacon Frost. When he's all mad, he gets down there, entrance is cool and everything, I mean, and then he just unloads. There's some things, taking some liberties on that one, but as far as actual skill was concerned when it comes to certain people that were in there, though, they all had genuine skill. And even the other guys would probably have genuine skill. They just didn't showcase the high wire stuff. So that was kind of cool. And then, of course, Blade 2, the fight scene with when he dives into water and he gets out of the water and all the guards come in and he starts kicking everyone's butt. Those scenes are really, really cool. So Blade in general has some really good fight scenes in it. And those 3 kind of all rank up in that same area. I wouldn't rank them all high, any one of them higher than the other. And they all just kind of sit in that same level. So about number 3, they're all about there. Number 2. Number 2 is getting this spot because it made me interested in Krav Maga. It got me, perked up my interest, and it made it such a raw look at a self-defense system. And that was Jennifer Lopez versus her husband guy. I need to look up the actors' names before I do this because, you know, I know them and then I forget them. Jennifer Lopez in Enough. Her character fighting her ex-husband in this whole scene, it was such a raw look at self-defense, the way self-defense is, and the fact that she like put rings on her hand and then wrapped her hands up and then put herself with, you know, got herself oiled up and stuff so he couldn't just grab onto her easily. She moved things around. She made sure her environment was the way she wanted it. That to me was such a raw look at self-defense, and it introduced Krav Maga to the world in a real great way because it was for a woman beating on a guy, you know what I mean? And it was very cool to see that done, and it made me very interested in Krav at that time, and I really started researching into it and really looking for more things about it, material. And then when you find the videos, it was like find the videos and start looking at the videos and start doing things like that. And it was like, I was definitely really looking into Krav. Krav is really good, and especially back when it was in its rawest state like that, it was really excellent. It's still very excellent. So, you know, it ranks up there. It has to be my number 2 fight because I love that movie just because of that scene. That whole scene of her smacking him around after she's been beat, after all that stuff, I mean, it speaks to me in a way that some people go, are you serious? That's your number 2 fight scene? It's like, dude, what's better than watching J-Lo smack some dude around, all greased up and smacking someone around? Come on now, right? I know I could totally choose Jessica Biel in Blade Trinity, fighting those vampire guys, because that was a pretty awesome fight scene too. But after rewatching it, it's more just watching her. And it's not so much the fight scene in itself as much as it's just watching Jessica Biel and her be awesome. And honestly, I could take more movies like that with her in it. That'd be really great. I wish they would have showcased her more. And matter of fact, I might have to change my mind on this. Yes, I am. Number 2 fight cannot be enough. You know, I like Enough. I might change that out later on, but Enough was really good. Maybe I'll just give that a shout out. Enough is a good fight scene. That's a good fight scene in it. But number 2, the actual number 2 spot, I'm gonna have to give that. I'm gonna have to relinquish Enough out of that and put it to Total Recall. Total Recall was full of amazing action between Kate Beckinsale and Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell was awesome in that, and Kate Beckinsale's fight scenes were awesome. But the elevator fight scene that was between Kate Beckinsale, Colin Farrell, and Jessica Biel, they're in that elevator, and Kate Beckinsale is kicking the crap out of both of them. I mean, she is whipping them both so bad. I mean, I was watch that scene like this. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. That was pretty cool. It was really cool. I was hoping Jessica Biel would give her a little more of a fight, but it didn't happen. Kate Beckinsale's character in that show, in Total Recall, was amazing. She was like the person you want to watch. You're like, yeah. So it was pretty cool. But number 1 fight scene is the basketball fight scene with Jason Statham versus all those guys in the basketball court, because he rocks these guys, and it's like, it would be what I would consider what a trained fighter would look like against just brute thugs, and that's how it should look anyway. Go through them that easy and go through them that quickly. Well, guys, that's my top 10 picks with a shout out to Enough for Krav Maga show off. Tell me your top 10 picks and tell me whether or not you agree with any of the fight scenes that I've put on here. You know, just give me a shout out. But that's it for today. I might come back on later on for another video today, but I don't know. I just want to do this early so I can kind of get it done with, because I've got things I got to do today. So I'm giving you guys a shout. Remember to continue to talk about martial arts. Keep it honest, and I mean that being honest with each other, okay? So I'll talk to you guys later. And it was Friday, special guest.